Okay, the day is June 25th, 2024. This is my second day of doing these like video diary things, whatever. Day two, okay. Yeah, I guess like what I want this channel to be is just me talking to into a camera, trying to offload all my like freaking like random thoughts and shit, you know. Man, okay, I don't know what to talk about. I mean, there's so much shit to talk about, but I'm trying to make it under 20 minutes. So, communism. Let me talk about that. Communism was not it, Marx. Karl Marx did not invent communism. He merely proposed an idea. You know, he discovered it. No, I don't even want to talk about communism. I want to talk about religion, Christianity. Okay. Shit, dude. Damn it. Like, I'm forced. Like, I can't do this. I can't talk. Like, I can only talk without being prompted. If I'm prompted to say something, to talk, like, to a camera, I can't do it. Because, like, I feel like I'm forced to talk. I don't know. Maybe it's a skill I have to learn. Oh, Christianity. Okay. This is interesting. Um, One question. Okay, let me talk about my experience with life, whatever. Um, so like, what's so interesting about Christianity is like I was raised into the Christian culture. What you have to understand about religion is that it's religions are nations. They're cultures. They're local. They're on a map. They're not like ideas. They're not something that exists universally. They exist on a map. Christianity exists only on Earth. It doesn't exist elsewhere because it's local to Earth. It's not like Pythagorean theorem, something that exists everywhere. It exists only on Earth. But what's interesting is like growing up, I just remember Christianity being like, it's hard to explain, but like I like here's the thing. Christianity is a fucking cult. And I've never really put that together until like a few years ago. My whole life I would go to church with my parents. My mom wasn't really into it. Her parents, well, her mom is into it. Her dad, he's not. He's a secularist. She's a secularist. I'm a secularist. It's not like being a secularist or an atheist, whatever you want to call it. It's not something that's passed that you're taught. It's something that you just discover. Christianity is something that's passed from parent to child. That's how it survives. But um, there's a culture like going to church. You know, like oh yeah, praising God. You know, there's so many fucking churches in the United States. Oh my God, they're everywhere. And you know, two reasons for that. Number one, churches are a place of gathering. They're a gathering place for people. That's a function. That's a useful function. Number two, it's a business. It's a business. Like, come on. Like, it's lucrative, man. But I'd go to church and I like this is normal. This is the state. This is how it is. This is the official stuff. This is the official whatever. And then I like later on discovered like you know, I'm like, wait a second. If Christianity is true, why would we have separation of church and state? Why would praying in school? Why is that illegal? And then like, and then I slowly understood. Like, hold up. The U.S. government does not recognize Christianity as being true. The United States government recognizes Christianity as being literally no different than Mormonism. And Mormonism, that's a whole other branch, but Mormonism is literally just 1800s Christianity. If Christianity is 0 hundreds or like the first century, then it you know, the Christianity, you know, it's a cult. And like I know there's some good aspects of Christianity, but it's the fact of the matter is it's a cult a lot of it is Paul. He's the founder of Christianity. He took Jesus and his teachings and he perverted it, made it like all the whole like cult mindset of like, oh, you have to believe in this, or you burn in hell. I mean, I made a video of this on my other channel. I'll say it right now. It's called Historical. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say the name of the channel. But it's a cult, and like the United States government views Christianity the same way it views Mormonism, and Mormonism is obviously false. That's what makes it so funny. The only reason Mormons exist is because their parents were Mormons. No sane person converts to Mormonism, just like no sane person converts to Christianity unless, well, there's two types of Christians. There are Christians who were born into the religion, or Islam or Mormonism. We call them genetic believers. They didn't convert because they discovered the truth objectively in a vacuum. They converted, or they are that religion simply because they were born into it. That goes for like 99.999999% of all Muslims, Jews, whatever, Mormons. They were born into it. The people who convert, they're insane, or they have a financial incentive to do so. Why did I bring that up? How is that relevant? But I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Something about, yeah, but it's just interesting to me how the United States government does not recognize Christianity as being true. It's a cult. Oh yeah, why Mormonism is false. Mormonism is false because like it's just I can't go into it's stuff about like how, oh, why did the tablets, I mean, it's like Mormonism, oh my god, it's like I should have to explain why it's false. Okay, I'll say it right now. There are anachronisms in Mormon in like stuff that in the Book of Mormon they claim existed back then, but we know today that it didn't exist back then. And a lot of other stuff. That's just the simplest thing I can bring up. Limited time I have. But it's false. Mormonism is false. The cults are the enemy of the state. Christianity was the enemy of the Roman government. I mean, yeah. Mormonism was the enemy of the United States government. I mean, we went to war with the Mormons. Albert Sidney Johnston, a prominent he was the guy at Shiloh. He was the dude leading the fucking Confederate charge at Shiloh against Grant, the Army of the Tennessee, whatever. He, in the 1850s, was deployed in Utah. His objective was to fight the Mormons, Mormon cult members, and fucking, you know, they're harassing, you know, American settlers, and you know, it brings up another talk about Israel and the United States. This interesting thing, like, yeah, the comparison between the United States and Israel. This is a huge different topic, which, you know, this channel, I'm not, there's no going to be organization. It's just me talking for 20 minutes a day. That's the goal. But the state of Israel, the difference between it, like, big, oh, Israel's like America, a colonizer state. No. The difference between the United States and Israel is that the United States is not an ethno-state. We respect no religion, no race, only the Constitution, where everyone has equal rights. Everyone is a citizen. The United States wants everyone to be a citizen. You know, well, except for people who want to come here just to make easy money, the Mexicans, you know, whatever. But we do not base citizenship based off your skin color or your tribe. That's what Israel does. Israel is an apartheid state. To be an Israeli citizen, you have to belong to the Jewish tribe. And the funny thing about, God, I saw this thing about Israel. God, like Israelis. It's disgusting, the whole thing. You have people, the Palestinians, who are clearly the native. Like, if Arabs are the native in Lebanon, the country above Israel, and if Arabs are native in Egypt, the country below Israel, why would Ukrainians and Poles be the native to the land in between? there's the Palestinians, the people who are now living in Gaza, in the West Bank. Well, Gaza, they're the, they were forced into that little sliver of land. They're the natives to that land, to Palestine. And Israelis, like, this is what pisses me off, dude, about the whole fucking thing. Like, Israelis have dual citizenship. They're like American Jew Israeli. Like, I hate that fucking, like, oh, I have dual citizenship. I'm an American Israeli. Like, you're like, dude, like you should have your U.S. citizenship burned. You're a traitor. There should only be one citizenship, United Nations citizenship. But God, having Israeli citizenship, like, oh, I'm a dual citizen with Israel. I hope I don't have cancer, dude. Breathing a lot of asbestos. Ugh. But it's like, and what pisses me off is, like, for Israel, for Jews, Israel is like, it's just a vacation. It's a vacation home. Having an Israeli citizenship is just a vacation. Like, oh, it's, let me go dance. I will not. God, I know my face is here. I will not condemn Hamas. I'm sorry, but I will not do that. Israelis, they're like having fun dancing. None of them are even fucking. They're not native to that area. They're like German. They're from other places, like in Europe. They're European. Modern day Jews aren't even Jewish. They're white. They're European, and they have like this sliverous bit of Jewish DNA that they somehow, for whatever reason, perpetuate the culture and all that shit. But like all the people who died at that festival, or they're dual citizens, man. They're from Germany, and they're like, oh, let me go to Israel and have fun dancing, And meanwhile, the Palestinians are in this open air prison in Gaza. There's all this, like, it's like District 1. Israel's like District 1. They're all like, oh, there's all this like richness and wealth there, and the native people are forced onto this fucking concentration camp in Gaza, and the rest of the world's like, oh yeah, it's fine, it's whatever. It's worse than, like, god damn it. I'm making this fucking video about Israel now, but and like the Israelis, they can just go to Germany. They go back to Germany. When fall ends, or just go back to Germany. Where the fuck are the Palestinians gonna go? That's their fucking home. They don't have dual citizenship. Like, I saw a comment. He was saying how colonizers, they don't flee. They don't leave their home. I mean, colonizers leave when the going gets rough or whatever, but the natives don't, because they have nowhere to go to. That's their home, bro. Like a Palestinian can't just go to Germany. I don't know, man. But Hamas, I will not condemn Hamas. They are the French resistance. They're keeping the fight. Keeping up the fight, and I don't know. That's why I always found it interesting. I remember watching a movie with my dad, movie about Munich, I think, where like the Israeli Olympians were like killed, and the Mossad was like taking revenge against the leaders of that attack, whatever. It's just Zionist propaganda. My dad, like, I grew up, my dad's like your typical boomer. He's not even a boomer, he's a Gen Xer. But he's like oh, he brainwashed me with like that Zionist propaganda as a kid growing up. And I remember seeing the scene. There was like these communists with like the Israeli or the Palestinian terrorists. I'm like, why the hell would communists, like, I never thought about stuff like, I didn't, when I was like 14, I never thought, I didn't think when I was 14 about stuff like, why would communists support Palestine? I never knew, like, communism was the whole concept of international solidarity, the whole notion of like reject nationalism. Israel is the epitome of nationalism, of tribalism. Israel's literally Nazi Germany. That's so ironic, but it's true. Like, why communists, they fucking hate Nazis. Wow, they hate Zionism. Wow, like, Zionism and Nazism is the same shit. It's just German. German nationalism, Jewish nationalism. It's the same shit. I mean, one day, Norwegian people in Norway. I don't like saying Norwegians. I prefer to say people in Norway because we're all people, man. We're all sentient beings on a space rock. We're all on the same team. But eventually, people in Norway are going to be told, like, hey, look, this is actually just greater Israel. You got to go onto this concentration camp. We got some settlers coming in. They're going to... Anyways, the whole reason I brought that up was because I was talking about how people compare the United States with Israel when it comes to colonialism. And that's not the case. We want the American Indians, the natives, the people who were here before us, the tribe that was here before us. We want them to have equal citizenship, equal rights. That's what makes the United States so great. You know, we overcome the United States. The story of the United States is that we overcome all the barbarism of the past, slavery, racism. That is what we inherited. The secessionists, these people ingrained in our society that have always been the enemy. You know, that is the story of the United States, is overcoming division, overcoming secessionists. You know, that is, you know, I mean, the United States is not the bad guy. We are the good guy because we have the Constitution. The Constitution, I mean, Brown v. Board of Education. It was not the federal government that had whites only on buildings. It was local governments that had that. It was only through the federal government that abolished that. Local governments are bad, period. Because local governments, and this is more shit I never understood as a kid. The Constitution is very, like, communistic. It's very communist-esque. It's the notion of law that exists everywhere. It's like the idea that, like, depending on where you are on this space rock, laws differ. That's stupid. I mean, there's only one constitution that will eventually be ratified by the United Nations. The United Nations is weak. Eventually, the United Nations will have all the power. All the energy will be centralized in the United Nations eventually. But the idea is that, you know, wow, we understand, like, segregation to be bad, but oh no, it's fine if Israel wants to do segregation, that's fine, because we respect their sovereignty. No, like, fuck no. There's only one truth. Whether it be on this space rock or this space rock, there's one truth, and both civilizations will eventually come up with the same truth. That's the united planets, where two civilizations that have completely no idea of each other understand the same truths. The Constitution. Israel is an enemy of that. Israel is an enemy of the Union, of communism. That's why communists hate Israel, because Israel, they're secessionists. They're like, we don't want to be a part of the Union. We don't want to, you know. It's like, I mean, how, like in 57. God, I'm fucking stretching this. But like in 57, it was Arkansas government. The Arkansas government was saying, like, they were saying they were discriminating against black people. It was the federal government, the United States federal government, that had to come in with federal troops to protect the black people in Arkansas, and post-Civil War too. And in Israel, it's the United Nations job to send in federal troops to Israel to protect the Palestinians from the local Israeli government, who are, you know, fucking genocide. I mean, God, it's ridiculous, man. I saw this kid who was bombed, and he had no hands. Like, he had no fucking hands, and that's just horrible. He's like fucking 6, and he's gonna grow his entire life, bro. I mean, God, imagine the fucking mental, like, imagine, like, not having arms, dude. Like, you have no agency, dude. You have no agency. You're like, You're gonna like, that's, I don't know, man. All because of a weak United Nations, a pathetic United Nations. Like, that dude in the International Criminal Court issued like basically saying like, hey, this is genocide, you need to stop it. Who the fuck's going to enforce it? Like, the United Nations has no power. It's controlled by the United States, who is enthralled to Israel. Israel is we are enthralled to Israel. Like, I know, like, oh, that's anti-Semitic. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a goddamn. It's true. They own the world like an octopus, you know. But alright, this video is over 20 minutes, so I guess I'm gonna end it now.